The son is freaking out. He's enjoying this debate between between what's his name, Abdul Al Sayed and
that one of the reasons we're doing this debate is to contrast the two of you, where you stand on so many issues, but also on how you go about doing
yeah, with Haley Stevens, the Michigan Democrat Senate debate, primary debate.
In this particular race. But when you go to our
all right, bucket crusher time. Let's go.
Many of them are from that organization. Who are you when it comes to your political stripes? Many people call you progressive. Some have accused you of being a socialist. Not that that's a bad word, but people say that. This guy is my goat.
He's so impressed with the debate moderator.
I'm gonna kiss him on the mouth when I go to Michigan, dude. That we face.
He's endlessly impressed with this debate moderator. I am too. He's doing a great job.
We had to go in there and work with a diverse community to be asking what are the challenges we face and how do we actually solve them. We were able to identify the fact that our county ranked number 8 for medical debt nationwide, and we could eliminate that for a penny on the dollar. So we set aside $7 million to raise up to $700.
This is nice. I kind of like having the volume off and just listening to the audio. So I feel like I'd be like freaking out a little bit. Like if I were listening to the sound of like the birds tweeting and stuff, like I usually find that Zen sound to be really nice, but if it's competing with a YouTube video, it bothers me. Anyway, I'm enjoying this.
It's the same way. You've got to be thinking about a solution in the right way. When it comes to the question of socialism, I'm not a socialist. I'm just a capitalist who understands how capitalism works. The biggest threat to capitalism was never the idea of government regulation. It was always monopoly. I want you to think about the stuff that you have to buy, whether it's your groceries and the number of stores you can go to, or it's buying a flight to see your grandmother, or it's picking a phone or a phone provider. You have like 2 or 3 options, and that shouldn't be legal, but that's the way our economy works right now. So I think government ought to be there to regulate on monopolies and oligopolies so that everybody can actually participate in an economy without having to be forced to pay more or get paid less for the work they do. Congresswoman Stevens, another question about your campaign. We've seen just in the last few days, of course, Senator Sanders, we've seen AOC, and we've seen Elizabeth Warren just today, and they're all behind Abdul. These are the people who worked with you in the same room, have watched you for your 4 terms. Should that concern voters that they're taking the outsider's side in this case? You have a minute and a half.
Well, I think that we should look at the fact that Brenda Lawrence, my longtime mentor and dear friend, Congresswoman from Oakland County, representing.
Look at all my endorsements. All my endorsements. Go look at the endorsements.
Senator Stabenow,
on the financial side,
who, like myself, has been recognized as the most effective lawmaker for.
Hell yeah, let's go.
I'm a workhorse. I'm an effective legislator. What are you going to do? What are your policies? Explain
policy. Hundreds of small to mid-sized manufacturing shop floors. Operated CNC in my life previous to being in elected office. I have a deep passion for the bread and butter of our state and a unique understanding of it. So when Donald Trump and Mike Rogers go to lick the bootstraps of China and start a trade war with Canada, screwing us over and selling us down the river.
Go ahead, play. Let's go.
And securing things like what I did with the CHIPS and Science Act to deliver for our youth and equity and inclusion that is so very important to our future. Jobs for everyone, lower costs, and stop these abuses of power that are coming down from Trump and Rogers.
He has no policies. I'm losing it. The only thing she can say is I voted for the CHIPS and Science Act. That's it. Not at all. In fact, the debate is only halfway through. Our conversation continues. Raj, you are my goat. You are my goat. You are an legend. Oh my God.
How much do I have? 552K? Yeah, that's great. Let's just keep going for now.
It's been spectacular. Okay. The reason why I say this is not because Roop Raj is in the pocket of Abdul Al Sayed or anything. No, he's just being truthful. He's actually holding an indirect answer as not enough. That's why he just keeps asking the same question. Haley Stevens, if you recall, I told you this. Haley Stevens never answers a direct question. She never answers a direct question. She just does the yokel
right? Oh, I'm a Uber. I got a Uber accent. I love Michigan. I'm gonna fight for Michigan over and over again. Roop Raj, don't play those games. Roop Raj says, I don't give a. I'm Michigan too. I'm Michigan too, motherfucker. And I got
Oh.
a question. And that is great. I got the receipts. Oh, I'm from Michigan. Abdul is a scary Muslim. He hates women. That's all Stevens has deployed so far. One of the
All
great
right,
moments in that
592
debate. One of
p.
the great moments in that debate was when Abdul was like, "Look, it's just what kind of politics do you want to see? Do you want to see
I'm gonna finish this. Let's go on to the next level.
civility and constantly attacking your opposition, or do you want a politics that puts you at the front and center, your issues?
Let's try to make sure that I have
That
more.
was awesome.
Like if I have five, I'm gonna end with like
Raj, dude. Yeah,
600K or something.
and he had to literally correct her and be like, no, he called Senator John Fetterman an ogre. As a Uber, she does not sound like a Uber. I don't know what her deal is, but she's not one of us. I know I've heard Ubers also say that. Do you agree with him being a capitalist, or do you think he was skirting the question and not supporting socialism?
Let's
I don't care.
there we go.
That Abdul Said running for Senate says he's a capitalist, a DSA supporter. Okay, it doesn't matter to me. His policy platform is near identical to Bernard Sanders. Okay, that's what I care about, especially considering.
All right, we got a lot of power. We got a little size. I want to get up to 500. That's it. Yeah, let's just do it like this. Yeah, it's a good start.
Will run for statewide office while shying away from adopting the moniker. I will tell you that this will be the last statewide office, the last election cycle where people running for statewide office will shy away from saying that they're socialists. That's what I think. Uber is someone raising the up.
Hell yeah.
Detroit, which is a long ways from the up. I know. It's. I know she hams it up. We know.
All right, so I'll take a little length.
Being legit.
We want to keep it over 600,000. Power. One more power. All right, and 3 sizes. 1, 2, 3. My size is maxed. I want to celebrate by taking one more power. Okay, there we go.
She did. Yeah.
When we talk about ICE, this is something that obviously has seemed to kind of calm down a bit, but it's still fundamentally important to everyone who's watching right now. Congresswoman Stevens, where do you stand on ICE and the funding for ICE and where things should be going?
Well, I am leading the charge in the Congress right now to redirect $70 billion of your tax money, Michiganders' taxpayer money.
Okay, I'm liking how this is going. I guess we could do a little more power. Yeah, power's max now. Let's go.
Things that I am hearing from Michiganders where they are experiencing pain points. We've got to redirect that $70 billion back into communities. I called for Kristi Noem to go. She was fired. But guess what? No reforms. Not a penny more for this rogue agency that is wreaking havoc. Look, I've talked to administrators at Harms Elementary in Detroit, parents who are afraid to drop their kids off for school because of these ICE raids. This isn't working for us. This is abuse of power. And I am standing up to Trump right now on these abuses of power, not shouting into a bullhorn, not getting in front of the first camera.
She won't stand in front of a bullhorn.
The hard work. That is what Michigan deserves.
Standing in front of a bullhorn is easy.
He is such a talented guy. He's written 3 books. He's had 300 podcasts. He's had all this attention. But the deal is we don't need a celebrity candidate. We don't need a celebrity senator. We need somebody who's committed to 6 years of hard, unglamorous.
The person who's calling a celebrity literally worked for the Detroit Public Health Department, by
the way.
Celebrity department.
It's unacceptable.
Congresswoman, thank you. Dr. El Sayed, you heard Congresswoman Stevens there say, essentially, strip away some of the funding for ICE. Is that not good enough?
Well, she's also voted to raise ICE funding 4 times.
He says some of the funding. I feel like she didn't exactly say that. That's funny.
To thank ICE, in fact. So this is the same kind of DC hypocrisy, I hate to say it, that we often see say one thing in front of a camera, do another thing. I said that we need to abolish ICE. ICE is not about immigration.
Okay, yeah, simple.
We can have a safe and secure southern border. We can also enforce immigration policy. But ICE is not about that. ICE is about normalizing paramilitary force on our streets. And I
Yes.
just want to push back on the idea that
What
it's
is this
come
camera
down.
angle? What the
I
fuck's
was
going
just
on?
in Genesee County this weekend. You had raids in
This is a strange camera angle, I
People are
guess.
scared it to death. And we've got a congresswoman who tells you that she's against ICE, has voted to raise ICE funding, voted to thank ICE, called the people who work in ICE, I don't know, very fine public servants and other things when she went and visited herself. So I'm just saying that I do the thing that I say I'm going to do. I don't think ICE needs to exist. For the better part of our country's history, we did not have an ICE, and I think
Yes.
we can
Dialed
do a
in.
much better job when it comes to immigration without one. And here's the last thing I just want to say.
No notes. No notes.
When it
No
comes
notes.
to the question of
No
immigration,
notes.
Democrats who are going to stand
Hell
up and
yeah.
actually talk about the great good that immigration has done for our country in the first place.
Yes.
The idea that somehow we can't say abolish ICE because we're so afraid of what they're going to say when we've seen ICE terrorize people in our streets, to me, it is exactly the kind of cowardice that we don't need from Democrats.
Oh, cowardice. I love it.
Because I am not afraid of what they're going to say about me.
Doctor, I do want to follow up though with both of you. Isn't saying abolish ICE like saying defund the police? Is that just busting the whole thing open? Or do you believe that in order to have enforcement, you need to have an agency that knows how to do it?
Yeah, well, I just also ran government agencies. And I know that when a culture of impunity sets into a government agency, it becomes almost impossible to take out. And so I think the agency as it exists does not need to exist. That's not to say that we are not going to keep our streets secure. That's not to say that we're not going to enforce immigration policy. That's not to say
How do
we
you
shouldn't have a safe, secure southern border. The same way we did it for most of our history.
Yeah.
For most of our history, we didn't have ICE. We had INS. And they were targeted.
Yes.
They obeyed the laws of this land. They didn't
Yes.
terrorize
It's
people. in places
paperwork
like
crimes.
schools
It's
and
not a real
parking
crime.
lots. They didn't shoot
Yes.
up in schools and
True.
churches. They understood that their job, yes, was to enforce immigration policy, but they did it under the protection of the Constitution itself. And that's what we're losing here. You've got ICE agents who do not understand that the central law of this country is the Constitution itself. ICE has become a tyrannical agency, and I think there is no way to
Do you
get
think
past that
misogyny might play a role in boosting
agency
Abdul over?
and
No.
then build from scratch.
It's a Democratic
Dr.
primary.
Sullivan, you have been on video saying on social media before about the fine people of ICE. Do you feel differently about that? Do you believe that both can be true, that there needs to be reform at their for what?
Let me just be very clear. Complaints and slogans are solutions. I'm gonna put ICE detention
He's so
facilities
happy.
to call out
Okay.
and see why people were losing their lives.
Uh-huh. Is that right?
He critiques socialism to make it better.
Outrage. And look, a lot of you remember Abdul from when he first ran for governor in 2018. It didn't work out. So he started the podcast, he wrote the books.
Oh, I
and now
messed
he's
up.
running for
That's
Senate.
okay.
And he's
All he does is
for president.
attack
You know,
Abdul.
it's just another run on
Oh,
the-
I didn't mean to do that. I didn't realize that I was finishing the level.
This is about war. That Mike Rogers doesn't get any
Mike Rogers!
to this city.
Abdul's famous. I got embarrassed by Gretchen Whitmer. Say something direct.
For this state and for our values, for our rights and our freedoms. And I promise you, Michigan, I will make us shine.
Dr. El-Sayed, there are people watching this right now, and every time they hear this podcast business, they're scratching their heads. They're putting food on the table, gas in the tank. They're curious to know what that's about. Have you made a ton of money because of podcasts?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I told all the viewers at the outset that while my opponent was going to make this about me and her, I want to make this about you. Somehow she just really, you can listen to the podcast. It's there. Congresswoman, if you enjoy podcasts about public health, I welcome you to take a listen. You seem very concerned about that. I'm more concerned about the fact that people can't pay for their gas. They can't pay for their groceries. We're fighting a war that's cost us billions of dollars that has been pushed by the government of a foreign country, the same foreign country that the folks paying for your ads want us to send billions of dollars to. And that's the thing that I think Michiganders really want to understand. They're not that worried about the fact that I hosted a podcast. They're worried about the fact that right now, for a lot of folks, their kids go to schools that are unbecoming of their future. They are worried about the fact that they can't gas up their car because it costs, what, $4.50 a gallon? They're worried about the fact that the same corporations who funded your campaign are raising rates on the things that they can't go without, like their power. So I'd really like us to focus on the things that actually matter, which have nothing to do with the podcast, have everything to do with the future of Michiganders that we would like to serve.
Yeah, but it also is about transparency. and you have not released your full tax returns, $300,000 in other income while you sat in the podcast chair and you hawked junk healthcare cures that RFK Jr. would thumbs up. You talk about getting money out of politics and putting money in people's pockets, but still no one knows who's putting the money in your pocket. You know, I have been transparent and I am offering, you know,
You have not.
plans to address the cost of living
Well, we
crisis,
want to be able to-
tackle Donald Trump's
And what you're talking
abuses
about
of
what you
power.
did, but you also made some accusations here. Dr. El Sayed, that is a question that's not going to
Shut her up.
Congresswoman's talking about. Talk about the money and the financial disclosures. You were going to release some.
We released all of our financial disclosures. Again, this is a distraction from the issues in your life.
But not,
I'd love to talk about transparency. I really would. Because I want you to ask yourself, there's this group called the Center for Democratic Priorities. They didn't exist until they popped up and started running ads for my opponent. And then there's this other group called Center Forward that paid for a flight for the Congresswoman and her mother to go to Portugal. And they just released their donors. And then it's a whole bunch of shell 501c4 organizations. They're the folks who are literally putting money in our pockets right now to try and mis and disinform us about this race. And here's the thing about it. None of it actually makes your life better. Think about the $60 million that got spent in this race. What could $60 million
Okay,
do
Skip.
for a community
Let's go ahead and get the length out. We gotta be careful now because we could easily finish this, and we don't want to finish it.
Spend it to get the congresswoman elected. Why? Because at the end of the day, they know that they're going to have a safe seat doing their bidding instead of yours. Every single dollar that DTE is spending is a down payment on knowing that they can raise every single dollar that Blue Cross
I love listening to Hassan like get excited listening to this. He's pumped. Oh, I gotta go. Crap, I'm late. Anyway, that's all, folks. I was enjoying watching that though. I'll probably watch some more of that later while playing this. Anyway, please like, subscribe, click the bell, leave a comment. Love you guys. Bye bye. Right. Oh. Save recent gameplay. Full video.